Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. At the time of recording this, there are only a few minutes left. We're talking about, around 18 minutes in all three of the Celebration Arenas. Now, Kabam has made a good historical precedent when they've rolled something out and it hasn't been received well. I'm talking about things like the first generation of dungeons, the first generation of rifts, heck, even the first generation of crazy difficult side content for the best players like the maze. This is not the first time we've seen this, to be clear. This is, I think, the second, but they didn't learn from the first time, and the feedback that I've received on this channel has largely been negative, particularly for the 6-star quote-unquote Celebration Arena, which, as you can see, I did reach 4 million points, but it took 219 fights. 219. And by the way, when I got 410th place for 5-star Civil Warrior, who was already max sig, complete waste of time, I didn't even do half of that for Civil Warrior. I think barely the 6-star featured and the 6-star basic arenas together last week totaled over the amount of rounds I did for the 2-star arena for the 6-star shards. And so, first off, there are 3 things I want to say about this specific arena that Kabam needs to learn from. The first is that I believe with the state of the game, these numbers should have been at minimum doubled for arena grinders. They should have been to the point where you could have earned at least 7,000 6-star shards. But let's be honest, 7,000 6-star shards in this game is pretty easy to get, and I know it's going to depend on your progression level, and I also know it's going to depend on if you have cash, because I say the 6-star shards are easy to get, and I think about the August monthly calendar that gave us by the end so many bonuses, including 2.5 6-stars between the automatic 6-star basic you got from buying it, and then I think it was 15,000 6-star shards by the end of the month, enough for either 1.5 6-star basic crystals or a 6-star featured crystal. So my first suggestion is to make this at least 7,000, but ideally 10,000 6-star shards. How much better would the grinding have been with this if you knew that you were going to be able to open a 6-star at the end of it, even if you started with 0 6-star shards going in? Like, that is the definition of a celebration. But speaking of a celebration, because of the limit of 1 and 2-star champions in this arena, it took so much time, and it was only around for a week. That is madness. That is like asking someone to, out of nowhere, take up a full-time job as a celebration, quote-unquote. It was so not worth it for so many people. And I'm even talking about fellow YouTubers. But especially since 99.9% of the community is not a YouTuber, and if they are a YouTuber, they don't have enough of a following to generate much of an interest on live streams, which, trust me, especially when you're doing the arena, can be like watching paint dry. I hear all the time, Prof, I think your channel's pretty fun to watch, but I will never go to your live streams if you do the arena. And my response is, I get it. The arena is boring, but when you come to my live streams, it's usually about interacting with other people and answering questions. The arena is sort of like something on in the background that you may or may not even pay attention to. So this needs to be a month long. So my first suggestion is make this at least 7,000 6-star shards, but ideally 10,000. And the second is to change it from a week to a month. My third and final suggestion, which I feel like is the least likely to happen, but it is maybe the most important right now. If you were to go into this, you can see that the best you can do are 2 stars. You can use 1 stars and 2 stars. If you use 3 stars, 4 stars, or 5 stars, or heaven help us, 6 stars, you can't. Now, I don't expect them to change this much anytime soon, but can you imagine the difference in how much better this would have been had we been able to use 3 stars? I say 3 stars specifically because when it comes to gaining important items, even from solo supreme crystals or regular crystals, I'm mainly talking about the availability and the easy acquisition of 3-star arena boost, especially the times 3. So many people go into their inventory and they look at their Arena Boost inventory, and when they scroll down, they see something like, wait for it, this 133 unopened Greater Arena Boost crystals, and even something like this. I have 1,251 Arena Boost crystals. I haven't really opened these in a while because I don't use 3-star champions unless they're the ×3s for the regular Summoner Trials Arena. But I would absolutely be all over these if there was a special celebration arena that incentivized me to use my 3-star champions. I also have so many 3-star champs that are max sig, max rank now that because of the new arena structure, I don't use in general. So to recap, the 3 things that I would change about the 6-star event, I actually think the 5-star is okay. It's not great, but it's not terrible. And the 4-star is whatever. I don't think a lot of people even did the 4-star. I would make this a month instead of a week. I would double the 6-star shard count at minimum, but ideally give each summoner 10,000 6-star shards by the time all 4 million points were acquired to make it truly worth the grind and feel like an actual celebration instead of a depression. And then the third thing, I would ratchet up the star requirement by 1 to allow us to use 3 stars and thus also take advantage of 3-star boosts. I feel like out of the 3 suggestions I made, Kabam would actually be more likely to up the 6-star shard count than they would be to up the star count because they want it to be a grind. And like one summoner said on Twitter, they want people to have to choose between what account they're going to grind on because that's going to force people to maybe not be able to do everything. I get that while also kind of being a depressing fact. But at the same time, regardless, you can spend so much time, not even get half a 6-star, and then end up, when you finally do form that 6-star, pulling, like I did, from this crystal, a second dupe of OG, not Immortal, OG Abomination, where you feel like your entire time spent in this is an abomination. I do want to say as a positive that I like that they included units along with the battle chips and gold being the boosts during the week. And then these things, despite the fact that I had maybe the worst RNG luck I've ever had all year on crystals when I opened these in the past 24 hours. And if you want to see my frustration and you enjoy watching me get annoyed on camera, that's the video for you. I posted it earlier today. But I still think like we got to see these crystals more than just during this week. We only see them a couple times a year. And it's fun. It's fun for newer players too to get things like a chance at a 2-star Dr. Doom. So just my thoughts on that. What do you think would make this a lot better? What would you add to my 3 suggestions, YouTube? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you as always for your continued support and feedback.